All right, what's up, THP? JDax here, also known as Dax,
Hey, what's
and
up?
Illiterate, also known as Mike here. Gonna try to bring you a quick recap of the hype event, give you some gambling odds if you've still got a ball in the hopper.
Yep.
And first things first, man. Let's throw a congrats out there
Yeah,
to
man.
Haso.
Congrats, man. Congrats. Awesome, awesome. It's an awesome time when anyone gets their ticket punched.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
so you got your ticket punched, contest winner number 4 here.
Yep.
And what advice do you have for Haso being the newest member of Team Prestige, to prep for the Grandaddy?
Well, first things first. Check your email on the site because you're going to get a lot of congratulations. The second thing is that just respect the moment, enjoy the moment, respect the alumni. They've been great to me. They'll be great to you, and get to work on your game.
Yeah. So speaking of, kind of working on your game, how's your prep coming? What have you been doing to get ready?
Well, as you know, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, I shot 79.
79 personal best, right?
Personal best round. And the last 2 rounds have been less than stellar. I shot like an 86 yesterday, and then just an egregious, just 89 today. But some of that was on you, I think.
How's it on me?
Because you had your head buried in the phone. Well, I'm sitting there like imploding, avalanche of strokes, and you're sitting there not even paying attention, just saying the M. Peterson 3-putted again, get in the car.
I've got to back my horse. You're already in the Granddaddy, and if I'm going to get in there, I've got to back my horse and send him words of encouragement on the phone.
I'm your Granddaddy horse. We're trying to grind this thing out.
I'm going to grind it out with you, but I mean, I didn't pull hybrid out of the deep rough and hook it into the water.
No, you didn't. But you were supposed to tell me this is
Not to do that.
No, this is when you're supposed to grab the 6-iron and say, no, here's your 6-iron, and you didn't do that.
Well, I mean, I was rooting my horse on because he 3-putted again. Because it seemed like every time I went back to the cart, he says, I had another 3-putt.
Okay, all right. Moving on.
Moving on. Obviously, you can tell this is very touchy subject today.
Right.
But who do you think played the best? Who had the strongest showing this week at the hype event?
I mean, if you had to pick a Ric Flair of this thing, it's got to be J-Man.
Woo! Yeah. 4-0. Patrick Reed-like performance.
Yeah, every team event, both team events, he won. He beat Finley twice. And
he won both of the team contests too.
Right. I mean, year supply worth of balls, an O-Works putter, bragging rights, 2 balls for the people that backed him.
Yep.
I can't say enough about the way that guy played. I mean, I think that Alex also, ITW, I think that he played great too, with a whole lot of pressure because,
he had so many backers.
Right, 18.5% of the people that entered the contest backed him, and that's a whole lot of pressure. And he responded with 2 wins over Finley. So, yeah.
So, speaking of Finley.
Oh, Finley.
What were your thoughts about his performance?
Well, if you were going to get him, it needed to be day one. So he didn't
put up a big number on day night.
Avalanche starting at 4, and he never really got the wheels back on until the very end. But by then it was too late. 6 of the Team Hype guys got him, and that's exactly when you needed to get him. He played better today, of course, and
I don't know if you could say he played better today because he did get skull dragged 6-5 by JMO.
Oh yeah, I forgot the 6-5 total boat race, and as that was happening, I'm not gonna lie to you, I started feeling a little bit froggy just in case the captain said, "I need you to go out there against Finley."
So is this like an official call out of Finley for like Sunday singles at the Grandaddy?
I mean,
Mike Dean, are you listening?
No, I mean, for all intents and purposes, yeah. I mean, whatever the captain wants, I know one thing, I'm going to get him a point, but what I saw this week following along was that Finley's a great guy, and I would love to play. 13, at least 13.
At least 13. So you're saying, is this a guarantee, like 6-5, you're going to just skull drag Finley?
I'm not going to call it a number. We're not going to call it a number, but I mean, that's what happened today. I mean, he seems to have a weakness with guys with J's in their name, JDax, JMO, whatever. I mean, if I had to do it, if I'm called upon to do it, I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it. Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
So, Mike Dean, if you're listening, JDax wants a piece of Finley at the Grandaddy during singles.
Okay.
So, and he's saying he wants to play at least 13 holes. So, big call out there. let's talk a little bit about the action here, because the action came in really heavy on M. Peterson and OITW. You know, why do you think the action came in so heavy on those guys, you know, just overall?
Well, I mean, they're known quantities. So they've been in events, they're battle tested. Usually, the more known someone is, you would expect that the backers would go that way. They weren't the lowest caps on the board.
Yeah.
You know, JMO, it was a 2. You know, he had about 30 people, hitch their wagons with him. But I mean, DWM was also a 3.
Yeah.
And he only had 14. So it was more of, I think those 2 guys are more active on the forum. So it's a lot easier to go with someone that you think you know.
Just kind of hit me here, but you know, if you think about a guy like JMO's being like a 2 handicap, and I think Finley really plays to like a 5 or a 6, if I'm not mistaken. You know, you've got a guy that's essentially a better player according to handicap, and he's going to get shots on 2 of the hardest holes in the course. I mean, that's really a good bet if you knew the handicaps and paid attention to that.
Right.
And I think what OITW and M. Peterson were 5 and 6 respectively. So neither one of those were really bad bets either. So, you know, and I really think ultimately, kind of to your point, is just their activity on the forum and being kind of the known quantity, as you said, was what really led to so much action coming in on them.
I mean, also, even Keno is a 4. So, and so if you look at the guys that beat him twice, one of them's a 3, one of them's a 4, one of them's a 5, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have paid more attention to that, the numbers should have probably come in on the lower caps. That would have been what it was. But because M. Peterson and Alex have been in so many events or whatever, they were well known, and I wasn't shocked when it was coming in at all.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk a little bit about the action here. And people, let me tell you, there's more numbers on this piece of paper that Dax has figured up these percentages and all that stuff than on Allen and the Hangover when he was trying to learn how to play blackjack. So, I mean, so let's talk about that. What if you're a guy like me and you took M. Peterson? You've got 1 ball in the hopper. What are my chances to win a ticket? You know, punch a ticket to the Grandaddy.
0.36%.
So what you're saying is I've got less than 0.5%.
Yes.
Well, that's better than 0, right?
Right.
Did we have anybody out there that was a 0?
Yeah, there's 14 of you. Unfortunately, those that backed Ada, you're at 0. No balls.
Okay. Well, if you backed somebody like OITW or JMO and was it Keno Mike that had?
Yeah, Keno Mike.
They both went 2-0.
So OITW, JMO, and Keno Mike, your percentage would be 0.72% because you have 2 balls in the hopper versus 1.
Okay. So what you're saying is if you got 2 balls in the hopper, your percentage is 0.72. If you've got 1 ball in the hopper like me, 0.36.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about how some of this broke down, because there's really big piece of this came down to M. Peterson because he was 1 down with 3 to play at one point.
Yeah, man.
And
that
Finley,
that was the most exciting sweat, I think.
Yeah. That definitely had a lot of excitement, but Finley doubles 17. It gets it to all square. Then the 3-putt on 18, which brought in 37 more people, right?
Here's the weird thing. So Saturday night, you go to bed because those 3 guys had not beaten Finley yet. You know, only 65.9% of the people that were in the contest were in the field. Once the dude came in and won, and then right there at the end with Peterson, it went to 93.4% percent of the people that entered the field. So if you take, say the dude that was never in doubt. I mean, he jumped out to the lead. He ran it all the way to 4. He started leaking a little bit as Finley got hot, but he did enough at the end to win. I think it was like 2-1. But if Finley doesn't 3-putt 18, then 37 people that do have a ball in the hopper wouldn't.
Yep.
So
brought a lot of people in.
Yeah, it brought a lot of people in. So if Finley makes that second putt, you're talking about if you had 1 ball in the hopper, 0.41%, and if you had 2, your percentages probability went up to 0.83%.
Yeah. So we also noticed too that Keno Mike had won his 1-up too, but he actually made a net birdie on 18. So
that was never in doubt.
even if Finley Finley would have had to make his own birdie, at that point in order to even tie there. So that would have thrown out how many more people? 13 more balls in the hopper.
Yeah.
But Keenan Mike had one day won, so those people would still have their name
They
in
still
regardless.
have a chance,
but now,
their percentage would be less.
Right.
Yeah,
So now those people's chances have doubled essentially from what it was,
right.
or what it would have been. So what is the percentage? What would the percentage have been for the guys with two balls in the hopper and one ball in the hopper if Finley just two-putted 18?
0.83%.
So from 0.72 to 0.83 essentially.
It was to the people with the two balls that the M. Peterson people coming in was worth probably about cost you about a 1/10 of a percentage point.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting stuff. I mean, guy's done his math here.
Oh yeah.
Big props to him. He's made a lot of great posts on the forums.
that is a life a youth misspent going to college an hour from a casino. So yeah, what I'd like to remind before we go. Your percentages are just like your percentages, say like you were playing roulette, okay?
Yep.
So in this particular case, we've got 278 little spots where that ball can land. Some of you have one, some of you have two, and one spin, we'll see what happens. But I think that statistically it's going to be great if one of the 37 people that have that M. Peterson ball,
like me,
that they have that ticket. Whose name would only be in there if Finley had to 3-putt 18, all of a sudden gets their ticket punched to the grandest stage of them all and joins me at the Grandaddy.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing is our man Haso that won his ticket today, he only had one ball in the hopper.
Right.
So
well, it was 1 out of 11.
One out of 11, little different, but only one ball nevertheless.
Yes.
So I've got one in there. We'll see what happens. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck.
Awesome job to everybody posting and keeping us up to date. The guys keeping the scoreboard. Just awesome work. JB, Golfer Gal, putting on another great show. And all of THP Nation, just boom, killed it this week. So awesome job. We'll see you guys soon again. Maybe we'll do another live video update of JDax's prep for the Grandaddy or something later on.
Maybe maybe we'll Periscope it.
Yeah, Periscope live on the course.
Yeah. So you can sit in the cart with us.
Yeah, sit in the cart with us. Right. That's always fun. Right. What was it? JB said he thought we were going to come to blows at regional robbery.
Yeah. That's a Tuesday. Okay, that wasn't. I mean, that was actually like sort of calm because we were in front of people we never met before. So yeah, we may even do that. In fact, maybe there should be a call out. That's a good idea. Maybe I call you out, we go match play, and we Periscope.
Yeah, we can Periscope and give live update. Maybe we'll do that THP call out, JDax and I, as he preps for the Grandaddy to get him ready. So peace out, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.